sound, speed.
Hey, marker.
Hi, I'm Anthony Marinelli, and I'm really glad to be here at Westlake Studios, where I was in 1982 to create sounds for the Thriller album with Michael and Quincy and Rod Temperton, and work with Greg Fillinganes. And it's just to be back here in this room. I mean, I've been in this studio since then a few times, but to see what's going on here today, it's quite a deja vu effect.
This is not the first time you met Michael.
The first time I met Michael was at the Oscars when he sang Ben. And I was a kid just like he was. We're a year apart. He's a year older. And we were left waiting for our parents to pick us up. He had obviously sung on stage, but my dad was a master of property, so he staged the Oscars. And I would go every year in my little tuxedo, and we were just standing off to the side after the show waiting for our parents to get us. So I introduced myself to him. I told him, you know, something like, "You sing really good," or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I said to him. And then, you know, he remembered when we were working on Thriller that we had met back then. It's just really something to be here. And I just met Prince, his son, and I'm here with my son, Dante, and it's just quite a lot of circular convergences going on today. The P.Y.T part, I did it with James. There was no studio, so we did it in the hallway on a case.
What?
Just on the anvil cases. We had a little speaker and we created the beat, and it was like he was singing me the song, like just a melody, and I made the beat, and then I came in here, and then the band was in there, and then we laid it. It was a very quick, P.Y.T was a quick thing. Like, it's a style of creating music where there were specialists that were brought in for every part of making the music. And my specialty was making unique sounds. I had a background doing that for feature films, so it was the advent of MTV. I'm here to give a cinematic sound, and Quincy was a film producer and a film composer even before that. So he really understood the value of visual music, and it was the advent of MTV. So he put it all together. There were the brass players, they were the specialists at that. You know, everybody was just a specialist, and it was like making a movie in a way, making Thriller. And I was programming the drums, and then Paul Jackson Jr. was there, Louis Johnson, David Williams. Mm-hmm. And I was actually playing drum machine with those guys.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like 20 years old, and I'm playing drums, like, and James Ingram is coming in the room, and doing a tracking date. They replaced the drums on that song later, right? But for the tracking date, it was just, it was like a Lindrum, and that was like unbelievable to me. Like, why am I doing this? Like, where's the drummer? You know?
Right.
But that was the sound. Well, Michael had a vision, I think, as an artist, to strive for the best, what he thought was the best in every aspect of music. So it had to do with the right song, first of all, but then the sounds all mattered to him. There were a lot of nights, and he was a really hard worker. He was a lot of times here as late as anybody. Like, I would leave with Matt Forger and Michael, sometimes the only ones here. And I was sitting in a room, and he was putting down the needle on vinyl albums, spinning around, playing me Morris Day and the Time, Prince, even some Fred Astaire recordings. Like, he would just be getting a feeling from those recordings. Like, can you make sounds that give me that feeling? And he didn't even always know how we were gonna make the sound. We were there to help find it, but he knew that the feeling that those sounds gave him. So every level of making a record, he cared about, and he was always moving and dancing. So I think he was feeling the songs in his body. So because he was a dancer, like, that was his instrument. He didn't really play instruments. He didn't play any of the parts on any of this stuff, but it was how it moved through his body. So he was very detailed, obviously, about that. And he was always practicing his dancing while we were here. And for me, if I saw him kind of stop moving, I don't think he was necessarily liking what was going on. So we just keep it moving. And it's kind of contagious, because it kind of gets you energized, you know? I don't remember leaving tired, even after really long days. I used to invade Michael's juice stash, which is in the refrigerator in the lunchroom, And then he called me one day, I didn't know whose juice it was, and then we kind of bonded a little bit there, and we enjoyed that together. We had a lot of lunches in that lunchroom, you know, just like making an album, everyone hanging out together. I spent about close to 3 weeks here, I guess, it was in the fall, working on the album. And then right from here, I went to the East Coast to see the leaves change. So I have really wonderful experiences, you know, that I've taken with me my whole life. And now I have a YouTube channel, and we're just kind of reviewing a lot of this stuff, like the magic that happened, and just sort of sorting it out for generations to come.
No one wants to be defeated. Show them how funk is strong is your fight. It doesn't matter who's gonna go right. Just be there.
There's a specific piece of equipment that you guys brought out today that is very
Yes.
connected to Thriller, to Beat It. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys brought today?
Okay, so today's scene is about the opening gong sound in the song Beat It. So the way it went is a friend of mine named Tom Baylor had a instrument called a synclavier, and it was a digital music system. It created sounds digitally, and it also had sampling. But it's not a sample, as you know, like drum samples. You've probably heard of those types of things. The instrument makes that sound with digital synthesis. And that was the instrument that was brought here to play the Beat It sound at the beginning of the song. And we were up in front of the console. We were doing it with everything up against the glass.
Oh, cool. Green
The
cathode
synclavier is
tube.
fully functioning.
Yeah, regen the way that it's connected.
Oh, it's connected to regen?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
I mean,
a.
we
it's
loaded
So
up
they're
the-
going to hit the note. And
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
gonna hear it in
it has
room.
the same.
It's possible. We're trying to figure out if he's going to play the whole line or not. That's what we've been trying to show Antoine, the director, but it seems like it might just be that first note, but that's sort of one of the last
good.
details
Well,
to
Quincy
hash
doesn't
out.
have to play them. Yeah.
That's the thing. I think it is just going to be, he's going to hit that sound, you'll hear it.
And Tom played it.
The Baylor?
Tom played
Yeah.
it.
On the record?
Yes.
Or- oh, word. I don't
Quincy
remember
wasn't
that
even
part.
in the room.
Huh.
Tom, it
Interesting.
was just Michael, Quincy, and Bruce.
Huh.
Yeah, Tom showed up because Michael said, hey, can you get me that instrument? I love that sound. And then Tom brought his in, and Quincy wasn't there. He heard it later.
Right.
It was a factory preset. It was on the blue vinyl album that came out by the company. And my friend Tom passed it out to a bunch of his friends, including Quincy and Michael. And Quincy was really fond of it and was trying to think of a way to get it into the album. And then Michael had heard it, and then he asked Tom, can you get me that sound? Tom brought his instrument here, and they put it down. Tom played it, Bruce recorded it, and Michael was there QCing it, making sure, because he was a very careful listener, and he made sure that Bruce got it just right to sound like the vinyl. So not only did they play the instrument, you know, the keyboard sound, but Bruce had to dial it in to that same equalization curve as vinyl until Michael was happy with it, because he was very detailed, and he just felt like there was magic in certain things when they happened a certain way. So I brought that instrument here today to recreate, as I guess they're doing very accurately on a lot of the scenes, to give you the sense of what it was like to be in the studio then, with tape, that sort of thing. Even the original table, there's a aluminum leg table that was the one I used here to put the synclavier on, and my other synths too. And this is from the 80s. It's the keyboard I used. Back then, the smallest system was 40 or 50,000. And then they started to go up to 325,000, like into the 90s there. So there's just not that many of them around. But I still have a working one, and I still.
That's cool. It's
Still
stunning
use it.
how when you hear it, it's just like.
Oh, did you
It
guys?
is they were
Because
playing
it's a factory
it.
sound. Yeah, we loaded
Yeah.
it. But we had especially, like, the guy 75 years old that designed it, and he made a special system so that we wouldn't have the big fans going, because you guys would have audio like hell. It would interfere with all your dialogue. So this is a one-of-a-kind system. I don't know where the regen is, but
It's hiding under these.
yeah. Because the other thing was a big tower, you know, with
Okay.
fans in it.
And as somebody who was there, I mean, is this something you ever thought you would re-experience, kind of just being able to sit and watch this?
Did I ever think I was going to re-experience what, you know, you don't know. I mean, like, I don't really rule out anything in my life that could happen. And when it does, I'm just really grateful that it's happening, you know, and that the world is still open to receiving the things that we did so long ago. It's 40 years, and there's still a lot of relevancy to the not only to the music. Obviously, it all stems from the music and from Michael, and the guidance of Quincy and the great songwriting. You know, Rod Temperton, Steve Porcaro, and Michael, that were the main songwriters on Thriller. But all the people that it took, you know, and then the working method, how people worked together back then. Watching those guys play, and they were all really young too.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, this is like Rod was in here a lot. You know, Quincy was mostly an A, and he would come in and hear things.
Right.
Michael was always coming in here because he was interested in all the synths. And this is where I spent the late nights with him with the turntable, you know, and making sounds.
Yep. That's amazing. Pretty incredible.
As the guy who was there, you know, what are your thoughts on how great they've been at?
Well, first of all, the attempt to be as accurate as possible, it's amazing. I'm sure it costs a lot of money and takes a lot of time. There's a lot of dedicated people that are working on this. To be at Westlake and shut this place down, this is like a legacy recording studio, and it's just shut down. It's set up to do this and to recreate all the rooms, like how they looked. And I see tape, I see Rod's ashtray, that Rod Temperton's, you know, had his little smoking area. Actually, the Synclavier is in Rod's little cubby where he was allowed to smoke, because Quincy and Michael didn't really like smoke. So even back then, they kind of stashed him in there. But the ashtray's out there, so I was looking for that. You know, I think they're really working hard to make it, to make you feel like you're there. You know, I think when you watch the film, you're going to be a fly on the wall. So I'm getting that chill a lot today, but I'm really excited. I'm really happy that this is all relevant, this message that Michael had for the world. I can feel it in the crew, the people that I've talked to today. There's just a real feeling of connectivity of what was going on back then in the 80s, but in a relevant way today, you know, because some music and some messaging that happens through, you know, books, music, art, is long lasting, and I think this is one of them, certainly worthy of this film and many more ways for people to connect. If you like this video, click right here. There's another video I know you're gonna love. And if you want to go deeper into synthesizers, click right here and check out my course, Think Like a Synth. It's the exact method that I've used on hit records and films, and I know you can learn it too. Looking forward to seeing you on more videos.